Author of the Worlds Apart series and the Nightshade Saga series. And my world changed 6 years ago when I attended my first of many rom-coms. And I would not be here today as a best-selling author had it not been for rom-com and meeting Michele Callahan, the organizer of rom-com. But more than that, you are also a best-selling author. Can you tell us about your newest book? Or
yes, I will.
Thank you.
Evelyn's been to every rom-com.
Yes, she has.
We've done 7 conventions. We run them for romance authors and romance readers because we are readers first. Every author's a reader first, and if they tell you they're not, don't read their book. I am writing science fiction as Michele Callahan. This is a time travel series with aliens. The heroines are strong leads who are genetically modified humans who don't know that they're not entirely human. They get plucked by aliens and sent through time on secret missions to save the world. And they fall in love along the way, of course. And then this is my new contemporary series. The first book's Crash and Burn, and it just came out on Apple iBooks yesterday. It comes out on Amazon on the 29th. These books are really special to me because I got a crazy idea. The first thing I wrote for this book was song lyrics. And so every one of the books is going to have a song on iTunes that goes with the book. This is the next book. He's hunky. He comes out next month, and his song is called Alone With You. So I write sci-fi, and I write sci-fi romance, and I write contemporary with music.
I know that I've met some wonderful authors. I met New York Times bestselling authors as well as authors that were basically starting new in the business because you basically balance the convention nicely. I know that you've had some girl fan moments, so
Fangirl moments,
fangirl
huge fangirl
moments.
Yes.
I know I was jumping up and down when I got my intimate chat with Gina Showalter. Who are some of the authors that have influenced your writing that you've met and at your conventions?
Well, here's my secret. I started rom-com because I wanted to meet Christine Feehan. So we were actually in the first ever intimate chat with Christine Feehan, and we both had our fangirl hats on, going, oh my God. So I invited the authors that I love are mostly in the sci-fi and paranormal. I love Essie Smith's books, and she's come to RomCon twice. It's been amazing. Nalini Singh is on my auto-buy list. I love her Side Changeling series. I read J.R. Ward. I read Feehan, Patricia Briggs. I used to read a lot of Laurel K. Hamilton. She got kind of crazy for me. I love you still, Laurel, but I don't read you as often. I don't know. I like original stories. I love strong female heroines. I don't like heroines who are too stupid to live through their adventure. And if they tell a good story and they've got good tech or really good superpowers in it, then I'm all in.
I know the answer to this because I was at Downtown Disney, which is called something else now, and we went into several stores, but if you had to choose a movie or a movie series that inspired you to write science fiction, what would it be?
She knows this because I drug her around all the stores yesterday for 2 hours. Like, Evelyn, look! Okay, I am a huge Star Wars nerd. Own it. I own it. I am in love with Han Solo. Leia's just gonna have to go away. But yeah, Star Wars. My dad took me to see Star Wars when I was 6. My first 2 movies that I ever saw in the movie theater were Bambi and Star Wars, and I like Star Wars a whole heck of a lot better than I like Bambi. Who kills the mother, right? I was 6. I couldn't deal with that. So I've been a sci-fi nerd ever since.
Yes, and I remember seeing Star Wars for the first time, and it rocked my world. Every movie since then has paled in comparison.
I want to be a Jedi.
Yeah, she can have Han Solo. I will take Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker. The Force is with you, young Skywalker. You mentioned that you also have started a contemporary series lately. where is it set, and why are you excited about it?
Well, these boys, okay, so I don't know if any of you have ever heard of NaNoWriMo. It's a National Novel Writing Month challenge that happens every November. Bless the people who run it. It is huge. I don't know how they do it, thank you. But it's really inspiring. You sign up and you pledge that you're going to write 50,000 words in the month of November, no matter what happens. So I signed up for it for the very first time this year, and I was supposed to be writing the sequel to this book. That's what the plan was, but my brain often does not cooperate with what I think it should do. I sat down the very first night. We went to a write-in at midnight, and there were 110 authors in Denver, around 110, and it was this great group energy, and we sat down, we were in this, I don't even know, some kind of rec center building, and there were 100 of us there with our laptops, and we were waiting for the countdown for midnight, and I pulled up and I opened my laptop, and Jake Walker starts talking to me. I'm like, wait, no, you're supposed to be my sci-fi guy. Shh. Well, this guy's adopted. He has 3 adopted brothers, and their mom just died. I'm like, oh God, you're breaking my heart. What? So he starts talking to me, and their mother, being kind of ornery, which I like, made them write birthday cards to her. And he was 10 when he wrote his card. And she made him write 3 things that he wanted to do with his life when he grew up. And all the brothers did this. So when she died, she had the attorney give them their cards back. And inside the cards, they had promised to fulfill their lifelong goals. And she had a video. I was crying when I was writing it because I lost my mom a few years ago. But she had a video, and she said, boys, you need to remember who you really are. I expect you to fulfill these promises. So the hero of this book, Crash and Burn, wanted to be a rock star, which you can't do if you can't even play the guitar. So he goes down, buys a guitar, signs up for guitar lessons with the heroine, and we are off to the races. So everything just kind of goes crazy from there. The really fun thing about this book is the heroine has a secret identity. So she's kind of the shy, really mellow girl by day. Jeans, t-shirts, no makeup, no fuss. And she's in a band where she goes on stage with wild makeup, wigs, crazy clothes. So he meets her first in the guitar lesson, and then the very next night he sees her on stage as this alter ego and says, what the heck is going on with this girl? Because he liked her both ways, but it turns into a pretty interesting dynamic of trying to figure out who's the real Aaron.
You mentioned the intimate chat we had with Christine Feehan, and she mentioned in that chat about her characters talking to her, and I thought she was insane, and then the rest of...
All writers are crazy.
Yeah, all of the rest of the weekend authors were talking about how their characters were talking to them, and I thought they were insane, and basically 4.5 years later, my character started talking to me, and it all seemed perfectly logical.
We took her to the dark side.
One last question, because I'm sure there are plenty of people out there in the same boat. You're a mother of 3.
Yes.
And you, again, we mentioned best-selling author, and you've written a number of books. How do you have 3 children and be able to write 50,000 words in a month?
Well, you just decide that you're going to. It sounds overly simplified, but it's just, that is really all there is to it. I know a lot of, well, that's for me. There are a lot of authors that just enjoy the process as a hobby, and they're content to write a book every year or 2, and it makes them happy and it fulfills them, and that's fantastic. For me, I have so many stories rolling in my head all the time. If I don't keep up with them, I literally can't sleep. They will wake me up at night talking, and I have a notebook by my bed where I have to write down plots and little tidbits or snaps of dialogue I hear. So for me, it was a decision